So we're considering, we're talking about body shapes. And I'm not going to talk about diets, and I'm not going to talk much about even exercise, but I'm going to talk to you about a teaching from the Hooded Sage. And the Hooded Sage said, if you have a misshapen body, then you're holding deformed fractals in your, well, he didn't say this, but I'm going to add this, in your morphic field or your morphogenic field. So what does he mean by this? Well, these fractals that are beautiful are symmetrical. And someone wants to say they're most likely going to be related to platonic solids, which are geometric forms that are regular and symmetrical. So what does it mean? Where do these dark fractals come from? Dark fractals come from low vibrational things. So if you look on the scale of consciousness, dark fractals would come, I think, anything below 540 on the scale of human consciousness unconditional love. Why? Because of the work of Dr. Emoto in Japan with crystals and words that have different vibrations. So if you haven't heard of Dr. Emoto, look him up. You can find his books, or you can find articles about him on the internet. And what he's found was that if you put the word hate and tape it onto a beaker of water, and then you freeze that water and look at the crystals that are created by freezing the water, those crystals are malshapen and malformed. On the other hand, if you tape the word love onto a beaker of water and do the same thing, then those crystals come out beautiful, symmetrical and beautiful. So this is what we're talking about, these dark fractals. It's just a word that the Hooded Sage used, dark fractals. It doesn't mean they're dark in color. This is the problem with words, and, does it mean black is a bad? No, it's just a descriptor, and it's always frustrating because it's not really perfect. But misshapen fractals. And so if you were to tape the word love on your body, would it make your body more beautiful? Yes. If you tell yourself that you're lovely, does it make you more beautiful? According to this theory, or this experimental evidence, yes. So does it have a lot to do with self-talk? Do you tell yourself you're too fat, you're too ugly, you're too old, you got a big nose, big ears, you got ugly hair? Does that make you uglier? Some people say yes. Some people say it's very important to watch your self-talk and to see if you are calling yourself negativities. But is it true? I don't think so. Why don't I think so? Because it's... I'm just trying to say I don't think so. But could it be true? In other words, are the most beautiful people on the planet always saying, "You're beautiful, I love you," or something? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think this whole subject, even though I brought it up, I think it's a lot of bogus. I think it's a lot of bogus because I've known people that are not conventionally symmetrical who are beautiful souls inside. So for me, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. So what's the whole point of this? It's most likely to start questioning things that we see promoted on the internet, that this is true and that is true. And I always say, okay, if that's true, do I have any examples in my personal experience that counters this information? And I do. I do. Nevertheless, if you wanted to make your body more symmetrical and more like Vitruvian Man, that's Leonardo da Vinci's artwork of a perfectly shaped man, and even there he draws circles and things to show you it's perfectly symmetrical and it's related to perhaps platonic solids. How do you make your body look more like that? Well, some people will say you just go to the gym and get a trainer and, work on what you've got. Someone wants to know, well, can you change the fractals that you're made of? Do other people cast a spell on you to make you look the way you are? Someone says, I've got more questions than I have answers. Seems to be. But that's the whole point, is rather than accepting what people tell you in books, magazines, television, movies, and YouTube or Instagram, maybe what you need to do is take everything with a pound of salt rather than a grain of salt. Because there's a lot of things people say that run counter to what other people say. So what's really the truth? Get your pound of rock salt out and remember that when people tell you things, it don't necessarily mean it's true.